Good morning, boys and girls. This is our first lesson. We're back at school, so I would like to explain to you the CPJ and CRJ, how it's been done, not on a piece of paper. I would like you to turn to page 97, exercise 42. I've asked you to complete CRJ and CPJ for today. That's your homework, and if you look on page 97, you'll see that you have to do the CRJ and CPJ of Bushveld Estate Agency. So they've already, on page 99, they gave you the CRJ and CPJ that you have to complete, so with all the columns. Alright, so if you turn back to page 97, at the bottom, you'll see there's transactions for January 2030. The first transaction is on the 5th. I'm going to read through the transactions now and do it on the board for you. But what I want to do is I first want to explain the columns of each of the journals. If you look at the cash receipt journals, that means that you have received money. So you have to look at a document, source document, that tells you that you've received money. So what will you give to somebody if they come and they pay their account, or if they come in and they purchase from you? So if you've received money, you will receive a receipt if you pay like your account, and if you go to Pick and Pay, you will get a cash register slip. Alright, so that's receipts journal. So your documents, there's three. One from the bank is bank statement. If you receive money for any transaction, but not sales, then it will be receipts, and then sales will most probably, not most probably, it will always be your cash register slip, alright? But in the business, it's a cash register roll. Then your day in January that the transaction took place, your details, from whom did you receive the money, or why did I receive money? So we'll get back to that now. This folio we'll only use in grade 9. Then we've got an analyst column for your receipts. I've done this in black because I want you to see this is the money that you've received in your business, and now you have to send somebody to the bank to go and put it into your bank account, so your bank account is going to increase because you've received money. Now from here we've got columns. So all depends for what did we receive the money. So if you receive the money for we've rendered service to somebody, then it will be current income. Alright, service fees. So you get out an electrician, there's service rendered, and then it will be a current income to the electrician. But now we don't have any other columns. So now, if the owner gives money to the business, like capital, we'll go to sundry accounts. So if you don't have a column for that specific transaction, you'll always put it into your sundry accounts. Then you've got an amount column, a folio, but we'll get back to that one later on, and then your details. Why did I get money from the owner? Why did I get money from my tenant? Or why did I get money from my client? Alright? But my client at this stage will be current income. If we go to this cash payments journal, they pay, so we pay with a check. That's going to be the easiest way for us on school level. But we do EFTs as well. And if the bank communicates with us, bank statement. Alright? So your document will be a check and the number. The day in January, because this is the journal for January. Your name of payee. Who did we pay? The person we paid, the company we paid. And then that means my bank will decrease because I've made a payment, and then we've got our columns. Now these columns, in this exercise, we've got motor expense, equipment, and stationery. Because that's the the things that they buy the most. So that's why you've got columns. So if you think stationery, you only purchase stationery, say, once in 6 months, then you'll rather put that into your sundry account. And in your sundry account, if you've got something that takes place a lot, you'll rather have a column for that. All right? Then your sundry accounts again, if there's not a column, say for instance drawings, there's not a column for drawings, so you'll put the amount and the details drawings into your sundry account. So let's start with the first transaction. The first transaction reads, on the 5th, bought a vehicle from Harper Motors and paid with check number 40, 118,000 Rand. Okay, so Harper Motors, that's the company we're going to pay, we bought from. What did we buy? A vehicle, and the amount 118,000. How did we pay? We pay with check. So if we paid with a check, the check number will be number 40. So check number 40, or just C40, doesn't matter. On the 5th, who did we pay? Harper Motors. Okay, the amount that we're going to take out of our bank account will be 118,000 Rand. And then what did we buy? We bought a vehicle. So we don't have a vehicle column. So in our sundry account, we'll put the 118 and then we'll write here vehicle or vehicles. All right. Then on the 11th, service fees received. Okay, you see we've done service fees, we've rendered a service, and we've received money, so that will be our receipt. And it says further, the client paid 118 Rand and it's CRR20. So yeah, CRR20 on the 11th. Here you can write the word service fees. I like to write the service rendered. That's fine, no problem. How much did the client pay? Now the client paid the amount of 18,000 Rand. So I'm going to put that into my analyst column, all right? Because all the money that I received for that day, I'm going to put into that column. And then the next day, I'll go and bank the total amount, all right? But then I'm not going to write that into my bank yet because I first have to see if there's another transaction for that day. So what service fees? That is current income. That's a service rendered. So I'll put that amount into my current income column. Then on that same day, the owner increased his capital by handing over a further 200,000 to the cashier. So what did the owner do? He came into the business, he handed over 200,000 Rand to the cashier. But that's the owner because he wants to increase his capital. So what are we going to give him? We're going to give him a receipt. So it says there receipt 22 was given to him. So go receipt 22 on the 11th. Now we have to go and see who's the owner. And if you go and see, nowhere they told us who's the owner. That's actually a pity because in the previous exercise they told us the name of the owner. I don't know later if there's drawings, if we'll have, if they'll tell us who's the owner. Doesn't look like it. All right. So usually you'll write the owner's name there. So all I'm going to do now, I'm just going to write the owner because I don't know who's the owner. All right. And then how much did the owner give to the cashier? 200,000. So I'm going to add that into my analyst column. And then that 200,000 Rand, the owner gave it as a capital contribution. He increased his capital. So if you look on page 42, there by information, you'll see this owner already its capital contribution is 375,000. So it's going to be increased with another 200,000 rand. So that's why there's not a capital column. So in your sundry account, amount will be 200,000 and then it will be capital. Now, if you turn your page, you'll see the next transaction will be on the 12th. So now we have to go that on the 12th, that's the money we've received, we've analyzed it, and now we're going to send somebody to the bank to go and put that amount but the total amount into the bank account. So what you're going to do, you're going to draw a deposit line. Add that, and if you add that, that is 218,000 rand that we're going to deposit into the bank account. Can you see where I write it? In the same line that I wrote the last transaction, the 218. All right. Then if you turn your page to page 98, you'll see on the 12th, service fees from clients, 17,400. Can you see that's the only transaction that took place on the 12th? And then because you've received money, can you see my last cash register roll was number 20? So this one will be cash register roll number 21 on the 12th, service fees. As I told you, I like to write their service rendered. But I'm going to write their service fees because the book said service fees. All right, so there's no problem. And the amount that I've received was 17,400 rand. Can you see that's the only amount that I'm going to receive that day? So I might as well then just show the very next day it's going to be banked. 17,400, and that was service fees, and service fees is current income. Right? Then your transaction on the 13th. Advertisements paid by check to Sunrise News, 3,800 rand. Can you see you made a payment? Payment by check. Your last check was number 40. So this check on the 30th will be 41. Who did we pay? We paid Sunrise News. How much did we pay? So we paid 3,800. So that's going to be taken out of my bank account because I'm paying them 3,800 rand. For what? For an advertisement. So here there's no advertising. So here you'll write 3,800 rand. Advertising. Okay. Then on the 18th, cashed a check for stationery. 250, fuel 850, and then for the owner 400 rand. So we've done 3 things with one check because we're trying to save bank charges. So on the 18th, it's going to be check number 42. But now they didn't give you a name of payee, but they said cashed a check. So it was a cash check. So all you're going to write there is cash. Boys and girls, I'm not going to take everything off the board because my cell phone only went up until the word cash. Alright, so I'm going to start there on the 18th. That said that we issued a check 42 on the 18th, and it was a cash check, and we paid motor expenses, fuel, and we paid stationery or bought stationery and paid for it, and the owner took 400 rand for personal use. So we've got 3 transactions with one check because, as I said in the previous video, we want to save on our bank charges. So what you're going to do is you're going to add the 3 amounts, and that's what's the value of the check, 1,500 rand. Alright, then Your next transaction is on the 19th, and it says bought stationery 600 Rand and equipment 4,000 Rand from Governors and paid by check. So your next check will be check number 43 on the 19th, Governors, and what did you purchase from them? You bought equipment and you've bought stationery. So now you add the two amounts, and that's your amount of your bank. So your bank is going to decrease with the amount of the check for 4,600 Rand. Your next transaction, bought equipment by check from Klopper and Co. 5430. You only purchased equipment. So check number 44. On the 21st, Klopper and Co. Your bank will decrease with an amount of 5430. And what did you buy from them? You purchased equipment. So you do have an equipment column, so you put the 5430 in your equipment column. The next transaction on the 26th, the 25th, fuel bought by check from Harper Motors, 295. So check number 45 on the 25th, Harper Motors. Your bank will decrease with the value of the check, and that's going to be 295. And you purchase fuel from them, and that's part of your motor expense. Then on the 26th, stationery bought by check from Simpiwe Bookstore, 120. Check number 46 on the 26th, Simpiwe Bookstore. That's your payee, because you purchased from him or from them or from that company. And your bank will decrease with an amount of 120. What did you buy from them? You bought stationery, and you do have a stationery column, so that's why you'll add the amount into your stationery column. Then on the 27th, we've got 3 transactions. The first one says receive commission from Valman, 3,000 Rand. So you will see your last receipt that you've issued to the owner was receipt number 22. So you're going to issue receipt number 23 on the 27th to Valman, and the amount 3,000 Rand. What was that 3,000 Rand that you've received from him? It was for commission. You do not have a commission account column. The only column you have is your bank and your current. So any other transactions must go to your sundry account. So you'll see in your sundry account amount 3,000 commission income. Please, you're not allowed to write only the word commission. They're going to say receive commission. You need to know it's commission income. Then your second transaction on the 27th, service fees received from a client, 11,500 Rand. So your last cash register roll was 21, so this one will be 22. Service fees or service rendered on the 27th. You do not need to write the date again, but I like to write the date again. Alright, 11,500 Rand that you've received from them, from the clients, and that service fees is part of your current income. What are you going to do? The very next day, you're going to take the total amount that you've received and you'll bank it on the 28th. So if you add that, you'll go and bank 14,500 Rand. Alright? Then the last transaction on the 27th, issue a cash check. Alright, so check number 47 on the 27th, it's a cash check, and now they say that you are paying the business telephone account, but the telephone is classified as a sundry expense. And they forgot to give you the amount, so I went to the Afrikaans books and I saw it's an amount of 1640. So you can just add that, please. So it's a cash check. Your bank's going to be decreased with 1640, and you do not have a column for sundry expense. So in your sundry accounts, the amount 1640, sundry expense. Then on the 30th, there's 2 transactions. You are paying top municipality. So your name of payee is going to be top municipality on the 30th with check 48. And then they said we are paying the water and electricity of 2,400, but it's the business. So the business is paying for the business, right? So that's water and electricity. But then the second part of that sentence says, and the water and electricity account of the owner's personal dwelling, so where he lives, 2,000 rand. So that's going to be drawings. So what happens here? The business pays for the owner's personal water and electricity at his house. So that's why it's drawings. So if you add that together, that gives you the amount of 4,400 rand. Your bank's going to decrease with that amount. Remember to leave a line open there because you've used 2 lines for that transaction. Sorry, mine's a little bit because I started big. It's always my problem. And then the last transaction, paid the secretary's Toko Zulu's salary per check. So check number 49 on the 31st, Toko Zulu, 13,000 rand in your bank account because your bank's going to decrease with that amount as soon as he's going to take his check to the bank. And then in your, because you do not have the salary column, please, you can't create your own columns. They will give you your columns, okay? So there's no salary column. In your salary account, 13,000 salary. And all you have to do now is add your columns. You never add in your CRJ, you will never add your analyst column. Because this column was just to help you to see how much do you have to bank the next day. Okay, so you're going to add your bank column, you're going to add your current income column, and then your amount. To check if it's correct, if you add these 2, then it should give you your bank column as well, the same amount. So if you add it like that, and if you add it horizontal and vertical. So if you add those 2, it will give you your bank account. Why? Because all the money that you received for current income, for capital, commission income, rent income, any income, you have to pay that money into your bank account. The same with your cash payments. You're going to add all your columns. Alright? I hope you can see the amounts. And then to see if your bank column is correct, you just add your note expenses, your equipment, your stationery, and your amount column. And if you add those 4, that's the amount that your bank will decrease with in this month. Why? Because you've written out checks, and this is the payments that you made. This is what you've purchased. So your bank's going to decrease. Right, so please let me know if there's anything that's uncertain. You are going to write a test next week on Thursday. I will let you know. I've sent you the cash receipts and cash payments answer sheets that you can copy on a nice piece of paper. Just copy it. Or if you've got the facilities to print it, you may. And then on Thursday, I'm going to ask you to scan it back, or not scan it back, to take a photo, and then I will send it to the school and I will print it. Thanks, boys and girls. I will really see if I can find some of the previous exercises as well, just to go through it on Monday or so, or not really over the weekend because I do not have a whiteboard. And I still need to do the Afrikaans as well. So I'm not going to do anything else today. So please look at the videos, see if it's fine. And if there's any questions, please do ask. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you.